So today we begin Romans chapter 6. And Paul talks about us being dead to sin, dead to the desire. So if you ever had that boy or girl, boyfriend or girlfriend, who you tried to get away from, you knew they were bad for you, you knew they were a bad influence, and you knew this was not going to end well, and you just try to get away from them, and try as you might, you end up back with them again. Well, sin is that way. And then all of a sudden, something happens. An event happens, you're like, wait a minute, I'm free from them. And they can call, they can write, they can put messages on your wall on Facebook, no matter what they want to do. And you're like, nah, we're done, thanks. Doesn't even affect you anymore. You see the number on your phone, you're like, no, not talking to them. Well, Paul says that's the way it is for us when we become a believer. We become then dead to sin. Before our lives are changed by Christ, before we come to Him, then we have to obey it. We're like the bad girlfriend. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm there. And so we become slaves to sin. But after we've trusted Christ, we're then dead to sin. So I challenge you today, if you're having something in your life that's a repeated problem, over and over again, same problem, understand, you're dead to sin. And the baptism he talks about in verse 3 is baptism of the Holy Spirit. When we are born again, we're baptized by the Holy Spirit into the death of Christ, where Christ died to sin. And we're raised to walk in a newness of life. That life the Holy Spirit puts inside of us when He comes and lives inside of us is a new life. We now have the ability to say, nah, I'm not going to listen to you anymore, sin. We now have the ability to say no to our fleshly desires. Now, are we going to sin every day? You better believe it. Until the day we die, we're going to sin. There's not a just man upon earth that lives and doesn't sin. Ecclesiastes 7:28. We're going to sin. And we're going to sin every day. But those sins that used to have power over you, you have the ability to overcome them now. We are dead to sin. We don't have to listen to its enticement. We don't have to listen to it that says, come on, let's go. We have the ability to say, not listening to you, and live a life more pleasing to God. Want to read the whole devotional? Go to the link at the bottom of the page. We'll see you tomorrow.